Okay, so just move on to trading tip of the week. Technical analysis. It's just a short one. So, as you know, when it comes to trading, I teach so many people to learn to trade. Um, and for me, the thing I always say to them is trading should be simple. Simple is best. So also not just in your trading plan, but also in your analysis. So try to limit the number of indicators that you add and also the number of lines you add as well. Otherwise, you know, I've seen some traders charts, they look like a spider's web. There's so many lines all over. And you don't want that to happen. Just have the meaningful ones on there. However, also remember that, you know, if you've got a support line and it's broken, then that then turns into a resistance line. Don't just remove it straight away. It can still have some value to you. All right, so moving on to the technical analysis part. Yep, the markets had a crazy week again last week. You know, I can't see anything other than this continuing all the way up to Christmas. Okay, so just a reminder. So pivot point colors, the Fibonacci is there, and there are a couple of each this week. So just remember them. Now, also on the right hand axis, there's black numbers. They are support and resistance levels, just trend lines. So just so it's clarify what those numbers are. Got brown numbers, which are breakout levels. So basically, if it gets through there, expect the market to continue in that direction. I picked out some great ones on Friday in our newsletter for all the stocks. I had breakouts on all of them on the downside, and then they came off an extra probably 300 points after they hit those levels. So they were great opportunities. And the claret numbers are those horizontal levels, just where I either see support or resistance, or I can get 2 or 3 tops or bottoms to line up. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is the Dow. Now, the Dow held at the pivot point level Friday afternoon, but let's sort of get on to the daily part of it first. So when I'm looking at resistance on the daily, I can above the market at 31,292 and also at 34,98 and support at 28,503. On the 30-minute, we have then got resistance at 29,845 and support at 29,585. This is another breakout level. It's in brown. If it goes through there, then you know it's going to have a bit more of a sell-off in my mind. And support at 29,107. You know, it's just a suggestion. Just take a picture on your phone with some of these if they interest you, so you've got them in your mind. Now, Fibonacci levels on the Dow, F1 is 29,698, F2 is 27,481, and F3 is 25,264. So now moving on to the S&P daily, some resistance levels there with some downtrend lines. I've got 39.59, 38.19 and 37.64. And then support at 35.90 and 34.96. Again, they're on there. So if you just want to keep them, just take a photo of them on your phone as a reminder. Now, Fibonacci levels on the S&P, 3803 is F1, F2 is 3492, and F3 is 3180. You know, they're going to come more and more into play. And then when we look at the 30-minute chart, got a slight downtrend there, a little channel. So resistance at 36.23 and 36.08 with support at 35.85. So this is one of those. So this is the Nasdaq. I've added the Fibonacci's on here and I've made it a weekly chart as well, just to make it easier for you to see where I've taken the levels from. So I've gone all the way back to the COVID sell-off in March of 2020, all the way up to the high of last year, and then put those levels on. Now, as you can see, it's already been through and tried to retest it and then failed again on the 382 level there, the blue one. And you know, sort of the 50 hasn't really had much to play with this time. But on Friday, it was interesting because it did come down and test just about the golden ratio, the 618. And of course, as analysts, we all love that level. Just remember, you know, if it breaks below, stays below, closes below, continues below, then it's no longer a retracement. In my mind, it's then become a reversal. You know, always remember, this is just me telling you my views. This, you know, doesn't mean I can't be wrong for sure. I wish I wasn't, but you know, none of us are perfect. Okay, so here's the Nasdaq daily. Now, when we look at the Nasdaq daily, then I've got some resistance and support levels on there, just a couple of basic ones. So resistance is 11,839, and a much closer one at 11,239, with support at 10,473. On the 30-minute, we've got resistance at 11,185 and at 10,853, support at 10,701. And a reminder of those Fibonacci levels, just in case you want to make a note of them for the Nasdaq, if you're brave enough to trade the Nasdaq, that is. F1 is 12,909, F2 11,709, and F3 is 10,510. And finally, for the stocks, the Russell 2000, you know, these are the smaller mid-cap stocks. They're much more sensitive to what's going on within the economy, you know, especially from consumers. So on the daily, we've got resistance at 1782 and support at 1642. On the 30-minute, I've got resistance at 1760, and then we've just got this small little triangle there, and on that we've got 1700 and support at 1689, and then lower down at 1661. Moving on to a couple of currencies. So cable, pound against the dollar. You know, again, we're seeing that roller coaster because of the political situation. The economic situation isn't great, although I must admit, when I go out, you know, to the shops, because I'm based in the UK, people are still shopping, people are still buying for sure. I mean, the weekend, Friday, Saturday, I mean, the shops were packed actually. So, you know, whether that's going to reflect in the economy. Right, so on the daily, I've got resistance at 115.10 and 113.84, with support at $1.0081. You know, again, it, you know, depends what goes on with the political situation in the UK, the economic situation in the UK, and of course we've still got the dollar strength. You know, the dollar is king for sure. Now, if we look at the 30 minutes, I've got resistance at 112.86 and I've got support at 111.76. You just got to be a bit careful about buying any of these markets at the moment. I'm not saying don't buy them. It's got to be your decision, but I'm just saying be cautious and make sure you're disciplined with your stop losses. Okay, so moving on to the euro against the dollar. On the daily, I've got resistance at $1.0021 and also at 0.9868. Support is 0.9500. The euro 30-minute, I've got resistance at 0.9846 and support at 0.9765. Of course, you've got to have a little look at crypto. I mean, Bitcoin's probably been more stable than most of the other asset classes recently, which is quite interesting, really. Okay, so when we look, I'm just keeping this breakout level on there. It could hopefully get there one day. That 27,400. Obviously it's nowhere near there, but the time I stop mentioning it is probably the time it's going to do it, if it's going to do it. So I'm just keeping it on there every week. And then below that we've got 24,673, and below that we've got 20,520. Support at 17,736. Now, 30-minute, I've got resistance level above at 19,804. And then I've got a much tighter one. This is destined for a breakout pretty much straight away, of 19,187 with support at 19,101. So, as you know, I like to include the Bitcoin versus Nasdaq on a daily, and as I just mentioned, that it seems to me that the crypto's been that little bit more stable than most of the other asset classes recently. Yeah, it hasn't stopped it moving for sure, but we're used to that being the crazy one, whereas at the moment all the markets are the crazy one. But as you can see, probably that sort of correlation, that loose correlation, wasn't quite so tight by the end of last week. So now we're just going to move on to a couple of commodities just to finish off with. So we've got the gold daily here. I've got resistance at 1712 and also at 1677 with support at 1586. And then moving on to the 30-minute chart, I've got resistance at 1677. Again, that sort of coincides with the one on the daily. And then below that, I've got another one at 1651 and support at 1645. So again, tight range there. You would expect it's got to break out of that one way or the other. Last but not least is oil, WTI. I've got resistance at 93.04, and then I've got support at 84.89 and 78.47. On the 30-minute, I've got resistance at 87.01 and 85.87 and support at 85.16. Another thing to bear in mind is when I give you these levels and I'm giving you all of this information, all this analysis, this is all based off of the futures. Please remember that these are futures that I trade. So all of these indicators are. So you'd need to work out what the difference is between if you're trading CFD's prices to the futures to work out what your levels should be. But, hopefully at least the charts will give you something visual to work out, where you can see trends, where you can see support, where you can see resistance, regardless of what or how. As usual, just going to finish up with a little bit about us as a company, what we do. So we provide obviously this to help prepare you for the week ahead, and hopefully it does that. Love to get some feedback from you on what you think. If there's anything that we should change, bad criticism, anything, positive, don't mind, good, bad. It always helps us to improve, and that's obviously the key of what I'm trying to do. You probably tell me not to waffle on so much, but that's just my style. Anyway, daily newsletter. These go direct to your inbox each day, each morning, Monday to Friday, and they include global news, my views, and also fresh daily chart levels and fresh daily pivot points. And just sign up for that. We'll give you a free trial, no problem. Then we've got one-day workshops to help fill in any gaps you've got with any trading skills that you already possess, knowledge, etc. And of course, reach out if you want anything specific. I'm happy to try and cater for your needs. 1 week courses, we do a really sort of intensive 1 week, which takes you from 0 to hero. It gets you sort of confident on the trading system, making those decisions, assessing risk, analysing markets, etc., etc. And then if you really seriously want to turn this into a career, we've got our full real flagship masterclass that we do. It's 4 weeks of guided learning, but you don't have to take them all at once. You can split them up and fit them in around the rest of your life. And of course, if you do that masterclass and then you can pass the exams and the challenge that I set, we'll happily give you a job. We're always looking for new traders. Okay, so then moving on from that, trader mentoring. So you may have some skills and you may want to get to that next level. I can help you do that, and I can help you do it not once, but time and time again. Consulting, we consult to lots of companies. We help them to manage their risk exposure to foreign exchange, to commodity prices, and you've seen how volatile they are. Whatever we create is always flexible to give them the best results. And also we're a provider of trader educational content to exchanges, to brokers. And of course now we've got this added offer with this partnership that we've created where we've got over 85 other educators, anything to do with finance and beyond finance. We've got hundreds of new courses that we offer, over 20 awarding bodies for accreditations, and of course we provide these to over 10,000 customers per year. They could be anything from students, entry-level guys going into finance, maybe going into compliance, governance, risk, or whatever, all the way through to sort of, professionals and executives. And of course, we constantly have these updated because of the awarding bodies, make sure that we're always current with what we are providing to the people that come on our courses. And the courses we can do live, we can do self-paced, and we can do a hybrid. Okay, so finally, contact details, info@symaxfintech.com, and my email is there, chris.tubby@symax-int.com if you've got any trading questions or anything that you'd like to direct it just straight to me, no problem. I love conversing and communicating with people that are interested in trading. It's been my career for 50 years, not 40 odd years trading, but in the markets for 50 years. So it's just been my passion forever, and it will just continue. I love getting out of bed every morning just to do all of this. Okay, so right, I'm not going to bore you anymore. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Have a great week, and hope to see you again next Monday. Take care for now. Best of luck.